Shire Council has been a long-time supporter of the Inland Rail project. Way back to the days of Sir Henry Parkes, who promoted linking this nation by railway, we've been promoting Inland Rail. We are delighted to see the Parkes to Narromine leg of the Inland Rail completed. It had a significant economic impact on the Shire, generating employment, particularly during these difficult times of drought and COVID-19.
It's not just money. It's about the jobs into every part of the business, not just money into the companies that are helping to build the railroad, but those that are in the community itself, like the cafes, the coffee shops, the motels, the hairdressers. So everybody gets the benefit, and it creates much better energy and excitement in a community that needs it.
Council has taken a very long-term view to Inland Rail. We've been planning for it for over 20 years. We put aside the land in the National Logistics Hub over 15 years ago, 600 hectares specially designed to take advantage of Inland Rail. We have worked with our contractors in town over the last 5 years to make sure that they are ready to work with Tier 1 contractors and take advantage of the construction period of Inland Rail.
We initially sat down with some of the Tier 1 contractors and had a discussion about what their requirements were, set up processes that they needed to have our business entered into their systems, and then from that period on, we're in regular contact with the contractors as the work was required.
We were really lucky enough to have a lot of the guys come and see us, and it's what started off slow began to snowball, and every night we had a pub full of these bright orange shirts, and they became like a part of the family over the course of a couple of years. And yeah, we were so lucky to be able to have them come into our pub and spend money every night.
Council and ARTC had a really positive relationship. From the start of the project, we worked together to ensure that we had as much local content in the project as possible. We saw over 99 businesses engaged in Inland Rail. We saw over $109.7 million spent in the regional area. Everyone from the local cafes, cleaners, stationery shops, as well as many of our larger construction businesses were engaged in the project.
So it's set up a bigger business now for us with the bigger trucks. More staff, we're capable of achieving more work every day, so we can now complete jobs faster and quicker and more jobs each day. So we're set up now for those contractors when they come to town, we're ready to go.
What's really interesting is that when Inland Rail came to town and the government committed to the investment of Inland Rail, it gave the private sector confidence to invest in parks. We saw $26 million invested into an advanced manufacturing facility. We saw $35 million invested in Pacific National. From there, we saw our businesses gain new skills. These skills are transferable skills. They are skills that they can now use to work with Tier 1 contractors going forward.
The increase in local procurement came through many different areas. We saw small businesses from coffee shops through to motels, hotels, through to engineering firms, and everybody benefited. There was definitely a benefit there for all facets of local business.
We saw investment coming from the state government in the form of the Special Activation Precinct. The Special Activation Precinct is a new way of doing business in New South Wales. Streamlined planning approvals, concierge service and fully serviced industrial land. This is now a $185 million project which will transform the way we do business and live in parks. The results from the Inland Rail project for the Shire community are really interesting. The project rolled out during a particularly challenging time for parks. We were ravaged by drought and then came the pandemic. During this time though, we saw the parks economy grow by 5% and we saw unemployment fall from 8.4% down to 4.4%. Off the back of Inland Rail, Parks is setting itself up for a strong circular economy of the future.
So we do encourage everyone along the Inland Rail route to work with ARTC so that they can deliver the economic benefits to their communities. The sooner we get this railway line completed, the full economic benefits for the nation won't be realised.